Hey, Rob Cushing from the BetterClaim.com music blog here, and filming a video for you. We're finally going to continue the series on planning and booking a tour for your band. Okay, so this is where you've actually we've talked about in previous things where you've set your mind to actually do it, and you've done your planning. And now it's time to actually go on the road, and this is where the fun begins, okay? Before we start, though, I wanted to let you know that, as always, I hope you find this video of value, okay? And if you do, I'd love to hear from you. I have my personal contact info that I keep in the description on here. I want you guys to use it. Reach out to me, especially social. I'd love to connect with you on Facebook or whatever, okay? So that's there for you. I also have a subscriber list that you can sign up on. You can find out exactly more about cool stuff like this and what exactly it is I do, and how I help a ton of other musicians and those in the music business, even something like traditional business. Excuse me. Just got done with an awesome dinner, by the way. Where was I? Yeah. So yeah, you can get on my subscriber list and see how I've been able to help so many other different musicians, those in the music business, those in traditional business, be able to skyrocket what they're doing, achieve things they never thought possible. Okay, so without any further ado, let's talk about touring. Okay, so like I said, you've now made this steadfast decision for you to get your band on tour. You've prepped your monies, you've obtained your transportation, you've booked the clubs, you planned your route. The tour dates are set and they've arrived, and it's time to go, okay? So awesome. You are now officially on the road as a touring band, okay? However, you want to be sure it stays this way, okay? So what I want to do is I want to cover the details of, your method of transportation for getting around from club to club, and kind of like the intricacies of involved as a touring band when it comes to your mode of transportation, okay? So this is actually going to be on the road and how you're getting around. All right. So if you're a solo artist or you're a duo, it could be a car. I was a solo. When I toured as a solo artist, when I started touring as a solo artist, I had a little Mustang I was tooling around in, but that's all I needed. When I've toured with bands, and if you're in a band, you could do anything from a minivan or an SUV all the way up to a tour bus, depending on what you're able to obtain and how much room you actually need. Okay. And a quick recap, by the way, on one important item regarding transportation. I brought this up in the last video. It was on my blog post, which, by the way, I do have the link to this blog post in the description below as well, too. Okay, so you want to take a note of that. A quick recap, and I know I'm rehashing on this, all right? But whether your vehicle's brand new, I don't care if it's brand new, or or whatever, or used, or whatever mode of transportation you're using to get from place to place, I cannot stress this enough. Get a AAA membership, because if you tour long enough, you will have vehicle issues of some sort or another, so it's really best to be prepared. I want to save you guys a lot of aggravation that I went through, a lot of my musician friends went through. Get a AAA membership. Okay, it is so worth it. I cannot stress that enough, okay? Because you don't want to, for instance, be on the side of the Jersey Turnpike with smoke coming out the hood. That's a really quick way to miss gigs and frazzle tempers, okay? So once again, get a AAA membership, even if you don't think you'll ever need it, okay? Because you will at some point, all right? The bigger the vehicle you can get, the better, so that you're able to fit all your band members, okay? All your instruments, all your miscellaneous luggage, all right? Keeping in mind that obviously your fuel costs may go up a bit depending on how much stuff you're toting around, all right? You want to make sure everyone has elbow room, some type of elbow room, and you're not squished together like sardines, okay? Because it's about being comfortable, and it's about learning to get along, and this is going to help greatly, okay, if you're comfortable while on the road. So the next best thing you can have after a sizable, reliable vehicle is a positive mindset. Yes, I bring this up again, okay? Here's the thing, unless you're driving, unless you're the one actually driving, you're going to have very little to do to pass the time. You probably want to bring an iPad or books or something like that, kind of play on or read or something. So you're going to have very little to do to pass the time other than staring out the window, right? You want to be prepared for long stretches of nothing, okay? And the best preparation you can have for that is a positive outlook, okay? Depending on what happens to you on tour, it's going to be the last thing you carry, but it's going to be the first thing that will diffuse a crisis situation. I'm telling you from experience, okay? Another really good bit of advice, if you're able to, rotate your drivers at regular intervals. No one should ever be stuck driving more than 3 hours tops, okay, if you can help it. I had one band in particular I toured with who only had one person designated as the sole driver because he was really paranoid about, because he was the one who rented out the van, and then he wouldn't allow others to drive it. And you know, I've been guilty of this in the past myself. You know, like I talked about in a previous video, an article, I did long stretches of driving solo, and the only time I'd stop is like when I had to get gas and just stretch my legs real quick. But I'm telling you, it's not really a good way to maintain good health and spirit, okay? You want to take regular short breaks, even if it's just to step out of the car, stretch your legs, get a quick recharge, okay? So you basically get out, do some stretches, jumping jacks, this helps. Take a brisk short walk, and then hop back in and go, okay? And then there's the important stuff. Food. If you can, try to pack stuff ahead of time and attempt to keep it fairly healthy, because for purposes of cost savings and for time, you're going to be sorely tempted to hit the fast food places at each stop. And occasionally, that's okay, but you don't want to do that over an extended period of time. First off, it's really not good for your body, and second, you're going to notice a huge drastic drop in like energy levels, and you're going to start feeling sluggish, okay? If you have to hit any of those places, try to get as much of a healthy meal if possible, okay? Trust me, you don't want to feel like you're dragging and you end up taking that negative energy on stage, okay? And it's hard to exercise in the road, even solo. I've tried it, and you can do it, but unless you get like a quick jog off at a hotel gym, you know, because you're on, you're off again. You know, you're constantly going. Unless you can get a quick jog off at like at a hotel gym, it's really hard to exercise on the road. So try to stay healthy, okay? It's really not easy, but you need to do it so that you're like, you want to do it for yourself, you want to do it for your fans, so you're in tip-top shape for your performances, okay? But look, by the same token, you guys are on the road touring. It's a celebratory time. So try to stash monies in your band fund for like 1 or 2 places with like really decent food, or like, you know, really something nice that you like almost like you treat yourself to, like either like a home cooked meal type of place, something a little upscale, okay? It's kind of like, you know, indulge yourself a little bit, which is okay to do a little bit, okay? If you're lucky enough to stay with friends or relatives along the way who's actually going to make a meal for you too, all the better. What's something else? Oh yeah, don't let your vehicle ever go under a quarter tank of gas before refilling, especially in the wintertime, and if you have an older vehicle. There is nothing worse than the low light gas level. There's nothing worse than the low gas light coming on, and you're on this remote stretch of highway where the next rest area is like 30, 40 miles. That's one game you don't want to play, okay? So I would spare you guys that pain. And I really shouldn't have to say this next part, but I am going to, just because of the vast amount and different types of viewers I have, okay? Although this goes hand in hand with the rock band lifestyle, you know, that you read and hear about, again, I really shouldn't have to say this in the first place, but don't drink and drive, okay? Seriously, it's not worth it. Even if the driver isn't drinking, I know you guys, like, you're tempted to, like, when crack went open in the back, okay? You risk anything from being pulled over and getting busted for open container. If you're drinking under the legal age limit, if you're under the legal limit, maybe if you have a large tour bus and you hired out like a designated driver too. Otherwise, maybe. Otherwise, trust me, guys, save it until after you're set that night. You know, it hasn't happened to me, but I've had way too many friends and acquaintances who've gotten really heavy fines and even arrested. And the problem is, like, if you get pulled over and you're on a time crunch to get to these clubs, especially if you get arrested, you're going to miss a gig, okay? Or you're going to be very late for it. So don't do that, okay? You'll be sorely tempted. Don't drink and drive. Save the partying for when you meet your new fans that night, okay? Trust me, you're going to be glad you did. Bottom line, stay safe. Have a positive attitude. Try to maintain staying healthy and well-rested on the road. Yeah, which also means gets lots of sleep if you can, okay? You want to take frequent short breaks. Make sure you've got that AAA membership, all right? So in the next video, we're going to cover what to do once you arrive at your destination for your show, okay? So, and And I know you probably have a lot of questions right now about, like, okay, well, how am I going to get the time I need to do this tour, and how am I going to get the money I need to secure this reliable form of transportation, be able to do this, and be able to fund my band so I'm not counting pennies into McDonald's, or wondering where I'm going to sleep that night. Okay? In that case, you really need to think about desperately taking action in that area, and I can help you with that. Okay? So you can do two things, all right? You can either, number one, go to the link below and sign up on my mailing list, on my subscriber list, okay? And that will get you on the path to learning more about that. And number two, there's a link below. If you want to lock arms with me for $25 today, you can absolutely do so. And I will work with you personally to help, as I've helped so many other musicians, and so many others in music business and traditional business, even those looking to start one. I've helped so many of these guys to be able to achieve an awesome level of success like they never could imagine. Like, I used to be down in the dumps and in the pits from where I was, and where I'm at now is just so much more amazing. I can't even imagine like where I was before. So you can work with me on how to get that happen, okay? So I want to let you know those links are available to you. My personal contact information is there, as always. So if you have any questions, just want to reach out to me socially, feel free to, okay? I want you to take advantage of it. Again, as always, I'm here to serve you. I'm here to help you. And my name is Rob Cushing with the BetterClaim.com music blog. I hope you found this video of value. And go to the link also for the original blog post, and stay tuned with my blog as well. All right, thanks. And we'll talk to you soon.